What's up, everybody? This is the Hedge Mage, and I'm back again for another Pauper video. So, recently, Wizards of the Coast have revealed all the new upcoming cards from their new set, Murders at Karlov Manor. So, today, I'm going to be going through my top 3 picks of all the new white cards that have been printed at the common rarity. And as always, if you would like to support the channel, if you could leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at these new cards. Okay, so our first card is Auspicious Arrival for 1 generic mana and a white. We get an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and you investigate. And for those of you who somehow aren't aware of what investigate does, you get to create a clue token, which is an artifact with, you can spend 2 generic mana, sacrifice this artifact, and draw a card. Clue tokens are pretty good. They do really help you stabilize when you start running out of gas. They also count as an artifact, which is really important if you are running, uh, say, all that glitters, an all that glitters build, or one of the various affinity decks, or any sort of deck where artifacts really matter, like Boros Synth, for example. Ultimately, I don't think this card is going to be good enough to enter into any of those decks, or they're going to cut anything for a cute combat trick like this. Possibly you could see this card in some PDH builds. With the kind of power level of a lot of the cards that we're getting in white, that are commons in this set, this is definitely, I think, one of the more useful ones. Ultimately, I don't think you're gonna see this come up in constructed very much, if at all. So coming in at number 2, I have a Griffknot Tracker for 3 generic mana and a white. It's a human detective with flying. When Griffknot Tracker enters the battlefield, exile up to two target cards from a single graveyard. It's a 3/2. The fact that this hasn't entered the battlefield ability does get piques my interest. Let's just say that it definitely piques my interest. I do play a lot of Orzhov Ephemerate. It's been kind of a staple deck for me for ever since I got into the format, and so I'm definitely looking at this card as a potential, possibly for the sideboard, mostly to fight against decks like, say, familiars, for example. They're trying to combo off by returning a card from their graveyard. So this could potentially work very well against them, especially if I've already, for whatever reason, used my Nihil Spellbomb, or my Bajuka Bogs to sort of fight against their graveyard. Also, things like Turbo Fog and other decks that really want to play out of the graveyard with key cards, and that's what this is kind of good for. More combo matchups, like against Mogwarts or something. So it has a lot of potential. Obviously, Fairy Macabre is a little bit better than this. Or not. That's kind of like downplaying it a bit. It's a lot better than this. I don't think it's going to necessarily replace that card. We still have access to that card. But it's the simple fact that it's entered the battlefield ability. We can continue to do this as we keep blinking the card. You can also bounce it with your core Skyfisher. So I do think there is considerable amount of potential for this card. Though at 4 mana, I am not super confident. That's why we're putting it at number 2 today. So coming in at number 1 is a Novice Inspector for 1 white. Get a human detective. When Novice Inspector enters the battlefield, you get to investigate. It's a 1/2. So essentially, this card is just a reprint of Thraben Inspector, but with a different name. So we have redundancy with our inspectors, which is pretty awesome. Already, Thraben Inspector has been proven to be a staple in the format, and the fact that we get to run 8 in our list now, is pretty great. So I see a lot of potential for this card. The only criticism I have for it is I'm not really sure what deck wants to run 8 inspectors. Possibly White Weenie does, possibly maybe Affinity of some type. I'm not really sure why you would want to run 8. Maybe you want to run 5 or 6. Either way, the fact that we now have some redundancy when it comes to our inspectors, it definitely gives this card a lot of potential. So that's why I am putting it at number 1. It's definitely one of the best cards that is getting a common rarity in this color for this set. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you how do you rank these cards? Is there some cards that you think have a lot of potential that I did not cover in today's video? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you all next time.